In a time where we have great wealth and income inequality, there are some people who choose to prioritize the defense of the oligarchy versus calling the oligarchy out. There are some people who have decided that they would just much rather ignore what's happening or spin it instead of just telling the American people the truth about what's going on, the real truth about what's happening in this country. And so, Depressed Ginger is one of those people. You see, Depressed Ginger saw that there was, and he saw that there was an alley for MAGA money, and that MAGA money is sweet. And Depressed Ginger knows that he's lying to people about everything that Trump has done, that Trump is doing. And he has been lying every day since Trump became president and before that. And I think the thing that I find the most marvelous is that this guy was in the past caught grifting other people. He was caught grifting other people. As a matter of fact, let's see what I found. Let's I don't know how much of this I want to watch, but this was like right before he started doing politics. So I'm kind of curious here as to what this
Meet the
is.
brand new Wondershare Uni Converter 14, the all-in-one video toolbox to convert, compress, edit videos, and much more.
I've been debating for a long time as to whether or not I should make this video, because something like this has real-world implications in a way that none of my other videos really have. When a coach does something stupid during a game, it's not as though my video is going to be the reason that people hate that coach or that the coach gets fired. No general manager in their right mind is on the fence about firing a coach, and then they watch my video and they come to that conclusion. When a player does something immoral or illegal, it was already reported on by a much larger publication that has a much larger platform than the one I have, like ESPN or a major newspaper. So my video isn't really putting a dent in that. Plus, it probably happened years and years ago, so it might make no difference today. But here, this video has real-world implications. I'm talking about someone on this platform, and this could jeopardize their credibility, jeopardize their way of living, and jeopardize their career. And it's someone that you might be familiar with. And I'm blessed to have this platform. You guys are the reason that I'm able to do this for a living, and I can't thank you guys enough for it. Really, I can't. This is the dream job. And I recognize the responsibility that I have and recognize the power that something like this could bring. So I don't take this lightly at all. You guys have given me this platform to talk football and the NFL. And if I betrayed your trust with what I'm about to say in this video by going off script and by using this platform in a different way...
You see, the thing is that as someone who has a platform, you also have a responsibility to tell people the truth as you see it. And I can accept if someone is a conservative YouTuber or a conservative, streamer or whatever. As long as long as they're not being paid, I can't judge that because how am I going to sit here and judge someone for having their own point of view if they actually believe it? But the problem with Depressed Ginger and Jackson Hinkle and Shaney Rich and, Tim Pool and all of these people, the problem is that they're all getting paid to have these points of view. And they're literally lying to the American people while having these points of view. So, that's why I decide to call these people out because they're all liars. They're all liars. All of them.
in what you might consider a bad way, I apologize. That is not my intention at all here. But I'm making this video for 2 reasons in particular. Number 1, something like the actions of this creator impact all of us. It impacts all of our credibility and impacts all of what we do.
All right, let's...
When one of us engages in practices like this, it makes it seem like we all do that.
Bullshit.
And I could talk about how he compares what he does with YouTube to literal slave work.
My content here is, honestly, I am thankful that football is over. It got to the point where it was borderline slave work.
But I'm not going to do that, just so we can stay on topic and so that I can have a cool head while recording this. Because the last thing I want to do is blow a casket about a man comparing making videos while stealing other people's content to being whipped and dying and working long hours in the field just because of the color of your skin. But I digress.
I mean, does it honestly really shock y'all? Does it really shock you guys that depressed ginger's a piece of shit? Because it does not shock me in the slightest. At all. At all.
All of that aside, one of the only reasons he passed high school in the first place was because he had a 67 in chemistry. He decided to skip the test, and his teacher didn't notice and gave him an exempt grade, keeping his grade at a 67, which was not failing.
Oh my god. Now, I hope this is backed up by evidence, because if this is true, what a piece of shit. Seriously, what an absolute piece of shit. This might be one of the worst people on this platform. What a fucking piece of shit. Holy shit. Wow.
Just keep all of that in mind here. And this is not me taking a holier-than-thou approach or claiming that I'm better than him by any means. Trust me, I am not saying that whatsoever.
No, I am. And he's been ducking me on YouTube and Twitter. He knows who I am. Yeah. I'm better than you, depressed ginger, and I would love to debate you before.
The part about not doing well in school, and especially in science, will become extremely relevant later on. However, he knew deep down that YouTube was what he wanted to do. After creating a first channel which didn't go anywhere, and while bouncing around between 3 different jobs, all of which he got fired from or left because he either didn't show up to work or was tired of being reprimanded for not working.
And dude, I would spend like 20 minutes just sitting in the bathroom stall on my phone, and I think they knew it. Like, I remember one time they sat me down, the boss and maybe an assistant that worked at the desk, they sat me down and they were like, you got to do a better job, whatever. We were all we were terrible workers and terrible employees. We would just talk to each other the whole time. We would accomplish basically nothing. Basically, it was the last night. We were both quitting. We both had already had strikes.
He created this channel, which has become his bread and butter. And I think it's undeniable to say that his channel has been highly successful. Anytime you can make a living off of YouTube, your channel is successful by that metric. And his absolutely is. He's been averaging roughly 3 million views per month. He says that this is now his full-time job. And in streams, he's talked about moving out shortly to buy a house with a lot of land, presumably somewhere in South Dakota. In a 2-year stretch, to go from having a minimal following to being on the verge of that coveted silver plaque for 100,000 subscribers is remarkable. It really is. He's carved out his niche and seems to have a fan base that follows him and watches his content, which is what any creator wants. However, if you scroll through his channel, you might notice 2 things that are rather off. Number 1, he uploads a crap ton of content. And I truly mean a crap ton of content. He's pumping out an average of 4 videos per day, which is way above the norm for any content creator, let alone a sports creator. I'll try and get 2 videos done per day, and even that is a lot. To do 2 heavily researched, heavily edited videos, write the scripts for all of them, and go from there is a lot. But it's the standard I've set for myself, or at the very least, tried to set for myself. 3 videos a day is my absolute... That shows you a lot right there. Remember that... All right, fair warning. I came in with a lot of receipts here. I mean a lot and a lot of receipts. As you can probably tell by the runtime, a good chunk of this video is the evidence. There are chapters listed in the video if you want to skip to the bizarre twist that happened that I really did not see coming when going down this rabbit hole, and why exactly all of this matters. So if at any point you feel that it's evidence overload, you know where to go. But keep this in mind. This is just some of the evidence. This is not all of it. I don't know how many videos he has plagiarized like this, but there are a lot of them, as you're about to find out. And I'm going to be able to prove without any shadow of a doubt whatsoever that this man is nothing more than a content thief and a plagiarist who has no business being an expert on anything and who is destroying the credibility of sports YouTube. You've been warned. And keep in mind, I'm speeding up a ton of these clips specifically because if I didn't, this video would be over 10 hours long.
That's probably low-key why he left sports YouTube and moved into politics, because there's probably less people there that he thinks can hold him accountable. But the reason that I'm reacting to this is to prove to this community who come to this platform for the truth, because the mainstream media will not tell them the truth, that he is a grifter and a liar, and that he's not telling you all the truth. That's why I'm doing this.
Long. I'm not kidding. Heck, there are clips that are sped up here, and this section is still an hour long. That shows you a lot right there. Remember that comment made about Nissan Stadium, where he clearly had no idea what he was talking about regarding the downtown location? Well, that's because in that part, he was just winging it to pad the runtime. The rest of the video is largely just plagiarized from Wikipedia word for word. On November 24th, 2023, Patrick put this video out. See if you spot, well, any similarities at all when it comes to the script. Keeping in mind that anything you see when it comes to the sources was put up by me and was not put up by Patrick.
During the preseason, the Houston Oilers faced the Washington Redskins in an exhibition game in Neyland Stadium, home of the Tennessee Volunteers. At the game was the Oilers owner. He met the Nashville mayor and began discussing the possibility of moving a team to Middle Tennessee due to the discontent with the team's lease at the Astrodome, the Houston Oilers lease at the Astrodome, and the unwillingness of the city of Houston to build a new football.
You know what that means? You know what this proves? He's told what to say. He doesn't have an original thought. That's what this proves. He's told what to say. He's got people that handle what he says in his videos for him. That's what that proves. I got all the evidence that I need right there. I'm going to go on a little more, though. A little more.
Football-only stadium.
Alright, we're just stealing directly from Wikipedia. 35 seconds word for word just coming straight from Wikipedia. Surely this can't be the bulk of the video, right?
The city and the team decided to locate a stadium on the east bank of the Cumberland River across from downtown Nashville in what had been a declining industrial warehousing area. In a special referendum in 1996, voters in metropolitan...
Like I said, this proves it. This proves that he's just told what to say. He can't think of original thoughts. Wow.
Nashville County voted to approve partial funding of the proposed stadium, which would end up being Nissan Stadium.
Oh no.
Also in May of 2010, the stadium's playing surface was filled with 6 feet of water due to heavy rains and flooding from that Cumberland River. The flood also reached down to the locker rooms of the stadium. The stadium did receive upgrades in mid-2012. Among the improvements were a new sound system, high-speed elevators to the upper levels, along with LED lights.
You might have also noticed something extremely subtle with that last clip that I'll play again.
Among the improvements were
Notice how when he starts the sentence among the improvements, he is about to say the word are, making that a sound, but he stops himself midway through to change it to were, almost as though he knows that this information isn't worded properly, and as though he knows what he's doing might be wrong. So he changes it. But okay, that's just one video where he's just blatantly copying and reading Wikipedia articles word for word and passing it off as his own research as if he did anything without properly attributing any sources. Maybe that was just a one-time thing.
Is there more?
Whatever. Let's find another video, like this one. NFL games played at weird stadiums.
Oh no.
Let's see how this video starts out.
The American Bowl, which was a series of NFL preseason exhibition games that were held at sites outside of the United States between 1986 and 2005. The league started the American Bowl in 1986 primarily to promote American football in other countries.
Let me guess. This isn't the only time he plagiarizes in the same video.
Now, the China Bowl actually never happened. It was the name of a proposed NFL preseason exhibition game that had been...
I think we get the picture. Shout out to official Jaguars, even though I'm not a fan of the Jags. I'll sub to you anyway. So I guess we get to see that Depressed Ginger does not have an original thought. And he's bought and paid for, and that's pretty obvious. I would love to debate him if he sees this.